Hello, welcome to Acute Mania Live. I have to unmute. Go ahead and unmute, guys, if you get a chance. I don't know why that button's not working.
There you go.
There it is.
Hey, Scott.
Amplifiers. Gosh, it's been 250 minus 31 episodes ago since you were actually on as a guest. Other than the show at Music on Main, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Other than then, but like the very first time you were on, I believe it was episode 31.
It's been a while.
And I wanted to make sure that I had you guys on for this one. This one's kind of special. It's episode 250.
Congratulations on 250, Scott.
Crickets.
Yeah, we're
Crickets.
happy. Hey,
Thank
to
you.
be fair, you're the one that told us there wasn't going to be pomp and circumstance for 250. So,
Do what now? What
Really
happened? What happened?
You told us that there wasn't going to be any pomp and circumstance for 250. So we said, okay, you know what?
Well, you guys are. You guys.
You said you wanted.
I say a lot of things that I don't. I promise a lot of things to a lot of people.
I personally think it's a great accomplishment. I mean, 250 podcasts, that's like 250 plus musicians you had to put up with.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Put up with is a good way of putting it.
In just under 4 years too. You started in 2020, right?
Yeah. July 30th will be at 4 years. Yep.
There you
Not
go.
only
So
that.
you're coming up to 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not only
it's-
that, you put up with us like multiple times too. So
That's
I
true.
know, and
is
that's
more.
I don't know what's been tougher, you know.
What's
Putting
wrong
up with us, definitely.
And waiting for a new album is like waiting for a Tool album with you guys, you know.
longer?
Ooh, shots fired.
Longer. No, I've heard enough of those jokes. Like they don't faze me anymore.
I hit the wrong button. It's
I was
that
like,
one.
what the
That one.
fuck?
that one. No, I'll use the cheering one later.
I do feel like we're on a quest making this album. Like it's been written and then we're actually making it, and it's like in Star Wars when, you know what I mean, you got to go get the crystals for your lightsaber. That's like the journey we're on right now. But it's cool because we're getting there.
Yeah, it's finally like actually feeling real. Like I mentioned to Paul when we left the other day, it was like, okay, this is actually happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like actual songs and all sorts of stuff.
Mhm.
It sounds like a record.
Yeah.
It's like, it's cool. It's good. We've been working on it like probably 2 or 3 nights a week, and 2 or 3 days a week rather. And
I had to hold back when I was talking about, you know, who's going to be on 250 with me, and I didn't want to say anything about the album. I was going to wait for you guys to kind of say it. I didn't want
Yes,
to
I
like.
brought it up.
I didn't want to like, you know, announce it or anything. You know, I didn't know what you wanted me to do, so I just, you know, didn't.
And it's not a secret.
Yeah, I think we've been announcing it for about like 8 years by now. So
yeah.
yeah.
Since-
it's a little bit
Since
out
this
there.
one, right? Since this one was out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
This has not come out of the case mainly because I don't have a CD player anymore. You know, I used to have one. I used to have one everywhere. I don't have one in my truck anymore. Like it didn't come with a CD player for some reason.
Would never think people would say that nowadays.
I
don't
know.
have a CD player anymore,
Crazy.
and neither do I. I mean, honestly.
You're
I
gonna
need
have
to go
get
get one of those-
Bluetooth adapter to play a CD
Yeah.
player in your car.
Yeah,
It's
when
like the
remember-
reverse of like the cassette thing that you
Yeah.
used to
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Do you remember the cassette adapters? You stick the
Oh,
fake
yes.
cassette in there, and yeah.
Those things are great.
I wonder if we're gonna go back to 8-tracks. You think 8-track players?
No, we're way past that. We're way past that.
I can.
you
But
give
there are-
hipsters a little bit of time, man.
Nah.
Yeah.
You give it another couple of years. The iPods are coming back. The
iPods
proper
are already.
MP3
Really?
players are coming
Yeah.
back. Oh gosh, yeah.
I
People
wanted
wanna
an
own their
iPod
own
Mini
music
for
now.
so long.
Are you
For,
guys
like,
gonna do a
last 3
vinyl
years.
for this? Are you guys gonna do a vinyl for this record, or are you guys not into that? I know a lot of bands are into that. And they do pretty well, I guess, and they look cool, I guess. But I had to go buy a Crosley turntable just to play one. You know,
That's
are you
the
guys
plan.
gonna do?
I mean, yeah. I mean, my full support. I mean, I'm a little bit of an old head and a little bit of a purist. So like vinyl is definitely one of those things that I think is a really great format to listen to music on. And so I think we should do that, especially like this record, because it's kind of like it's like all flows together. I think or will all flow together when it's done.
Yeah.
And like one of the coolest things about vinyl is it's like vinyl sucks to skip songs, right? It's really hard. You got to go over there. So you don't. You put on a side and you play it the whole way through.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you flip it over and you play it, and that's like such a great listening experience. You know,
The other thing,
play
the other
whole
thing that Cy also had said about like pressing the record was that correct me if I'm wrong, you were purposefully going to go with a thicker weight so that as the needle gets to the center, the album still has the same kind of bass definition and I don't know, chunkiness to it. Did I remember that incorrectly?
No, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Like if we can afford going like 180
That too.
gram, like that's going to be the main thing is you want that heavier weight because you want that definition, you want that thickness, and with vinyl, the more bass heavy it is, the wider the grooves, which means the less you can fit on it. So a lot of thought has to go into that, and I simply didn't do that. I mean, when I wrote out the track list for it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to flow really great. Oh shit, how is this going to work with a vinyl?
Is it too long?
I have no idea. I haven't actually.
I haven't looked at it. I haven't sat down and thought about it.
Yeah. Damn, we're gonna find out pretty quickly.
I can't remember what
it's pretty long.
I can't remember what the full length of a vinyl is. I think you can get over an hour on one.
Is it the same length on those little? I know those little ones, the smaller ones. Was it the same length as it would be on?
No,
No,
7 inches are for singles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can 7, 10, and then the full size.
Yeah, full 12s, and then you can play with the speed, and
This is one of the tiny ones.
Yeah, typically the faster speed sounds better, but the faster you spin the vinyl, the faster it spins, the better it sounds. But the faster it spins, the shorter it is.
Right.
On each side.
Yeah.
That one only has one on each side, so yeah, that'd be
Yeah. Those little guys, you can get you might be able to get one or two.
It's like a frisbee, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
I wouldn't.
Vinyl's awesome. I mean, it's like I don't know. I mean, yeah. To me, it's just like it's like the best format.
Some friends of mine that are they're coming down to play music on Maine on March 9th when the band that I'm in now is going to play our first show that I'm kind of nervous about. Anyway, Maintenance is from Yonkers, New York, and they went to a place in New York City called Least of All. And I don't know if you've heard of this. You go and they cut the vinyl right as you're recording it in their studio, and they have pre-orders. So you order, the band will list what songs they'll do, and you order the vinyl ahead of time, and the band will play that song just for you on it's like your own copy. So I have a copy of Maintenance doing that. You just buy it ahead of time, and then you go up there and just have a session and play whatever people ordered, and everybody gets their own on just one vinyl.
So it's a live recording.
Yeah, it's this deeper. I can't remember what it's called. I don't.
Like digital lathing or something. Yeah.
Lathe cut. Lathe cut's what it is. Yeah, it's the.
Yeah.
It's the.
That's
I don't know if that's
cool.
what you were talking about.
You got a bunch of fucking nerds on the show right now.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah, we're like
That's-
right in the wheelhouse when you're talking about this.
That's
You know what I'm
really
talking
cool because it's like if you listen to old, like really old stuff, like 1930s, 1940s,
Yeah.
music, with some of that, like there's like some old German jazz and like weird stuff that I like that was all recorded that way. They just, it was either a wax cylinder or a wax or a piece of lacquer, and they played it and they cut the master all at the same time. It's crazy to think that some of that stuff was done that way.
You can actually hear the, or not hear, but you can actually feel the. I don't know if you're supposed to touch it or not, but it says it in the thing. When you get it, how it's made and what it's made of and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this is how we found out that Scott had taken ecstasy.
Yeah, it feels so good. So good.
Why is Scott licking the walls again? No, don't
It's
worry.
the vibrations. You can just feel them all through your body.
It's,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was in my own world there for a second. I was like, oh, licking
There
the
it
walls.
is. See?
Licking the walls, that was fun,
No, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
what's
everything
what-
that we thought about is definitely like pointing in that direction.
Is
Not
that how I'm
licking
going
the
to do
walls.
it? Is that what I'm going to do when I hear the new album for the first time? Your all's new album?
You might, yeah.
Okay, well, tell us about the new album. How is it going? What's it? What are we going to expect? Not just me, but everyone. What's everyone going to expect?
Shit.
Wow. Wow.
I could say that I'm a part of it.
It's going to be guitar. It's going to be guitar forward. And
Yes.
very,
Guitar
very.
forward.
Yeah, that's
You
for
put
sure.
Paul in the
I know that's-
background.
Well, no, just in the sense that I think
Technically, yes.
one of the things that I think the group in general agreed to is that the sound, the capturing of the amps, right? The figuring out what we wanted to do just guitar cabinet wise and being a little bit more picky with guitar selections, cabinet selections, microphone selections. So just from, guitar work standpoint, I can say I've never been part of something that's been this selective.
Yeah.
Um, what you can't see is on the other side of the room where John and the rest of the guys are sitting is all the guitars stacked up. So we have, I don't know, like a dozen guitars at our disposal. Plus, we're using like 3 or 4 different cabinets that we're, switching back and forth. So as
Well,
far as guitars work,
you are called Amplifiers, so you kind of have to live up to that name, you know?
I guess we do.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I mean, the one thing I was like stressing to the guys was like, we're using modern technology to make it, but we're also using a lot of old tube amps. And it was like, let's just take old tube amps and turn them up and put a fuzz pedal in front of them, and it sounds awesome. And so there's like a lot of that kind of stuff. And I mean, it sounds like us, but it's definitely just been like picky with like nuanced things. Like, we'll record something like Dean said, and it's like we have, I think, 5 of just this model guitar.
Yeah, there's like 5.
Yeah.
Jazz we have like 5 or 6 jazz masters, and it's just like we'll pick different ones.
They're all set up differently.
Yeah.
They all have different pickups in them. They all like fit a different need.
Yeah, some of them have different types of strings on them, so that like some of them are just darker. So it's like we have a bunch of those. We have some Les Pauls, and there's some other Gibsons. There's a couple of Tellys. Like, so it's just like all that. So it's just like, yeah, like as Dean was saying, we're just picking things, and like we kind of have like a bass sound that we're going for, but it's just like, oh, this amp would sound better here, so we just like switch amps.
So speaking of bass sounds, I know you weren't meeting it in this way, but people that are watching might wonder who is the bass player, and when I first saw you guys live, right after I met you, pretty much, I was like, where is the bass player? So where is the bass player? Basically, I'll ask for them.
Hey, hi, how are you? I'm the bass player. I'm in this weird middle ground. Like technically live, I embody the quote unquote like bass player, but I'm also like kind of a rhythm guitarist as well, because I'm playing a bass 6, which allows me to do a lot of chording, but just the manner in which that I play, I'm kind of hitting both things at the same time. So it throws a lot of people off, honestly. Like, you would not be the first one to be like, what the hell are they running, like a like a bass backtrack or something like that. No, it's coming from me. It's just like not a lot of people are familiar with what a bass 6 is, and not a lot of people that know what a bass 6 is have seen it used this way. Because
can you explain that kind of just, I guess, in layman's terms of people that usually would go see a band? What is that compared to that? Maybe.
Sure. So I mean, like your standard 4-string bass, it's everybody kind of has an idea of what that sounds like. It's the nice low, and then you get into a bass 6, and essentially what that is it's almost half bass, half guitar. So it's 6 strings like a guitar. It's tuned E to E like a guitar, but it is an octave lower like a bass, and it is a longer scale. It's actually a 30-inch scale, which is considered a short scale bass. So it kind of embodies everything in the bass section. It does everything a baritone guitar does, and then it does everything that like the low register of a guitar does. And it depends on what you play it through. So like if you play it through a bass cab, it's going to sound like a bass. If you play it through a guitar, like a guitar amp, a guitar cab, it's going to sound like a really low guitar. So
what do you play through?
I play through a bass cab. So kind of. it's technically it's a bass cab, it's a bass amp, but I am running a lot of guitar effects. I'm using a lot of things that kind of harken to guitar. So that's kind of how I can get that really big kind of chunky sound without sacrificing having that low end in there. So you get that a lot with a lot of modern bands now. They've kind of caught on to bass 6s. So like your bands like Loathe, your bands like Sleep Token, your bands like Thornhill, like they're all incorporating in 30-inch scale instruments, but they're using them as guitars, so they sound really, really low. It's like kind of playing an 8-string without an 8-string being an 8-string.
Gotcha. I think.
Well,
wait.
Also another big band, even way before these guys, that kind of I don't want to say pioneered, unless you're a big new metal nerd, is Deftones.
Yeah, Deftones
Like,
used
Oh,
it a
yeah.
lot.
Gore, their album Gore
Really? I didn't know that.
is almost all bass six because that was the album Sergio played on.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's what he mainly plays, is a bass six.
Yeah, and I'm fairly sure he
Doesn't
did
Torch
Quicksand as
play?
well.
Doesn't Torch play also a six string?
It would not surprise me. I mean,
Yeah, I
they're
feel
kind
like
of like
they-
scattered throughout now. Like everybody's got one they break out every once in a while now, but it's like kind of a very niche thing.
It is also worth mentioning, though, Scott, that for the record, Psy was actually performing all of his takes both on a four-string bass and a bass six. So for the record, it's being recorded in both, like on both spectrums. So you hear it, the really, really low lows, and you get the definition from the bass six.
Gotcha. I'm really confused, but I think I got it.
It's
I
like
think I got
it's
it.
like bass and more bass.
Yeah,
Bass
Yeah,
and
It's a
bass.
drum and bass album.
How about drum wise?
Okay.
Is there any additions to the drum set than what I've seen? You know, when you play live, have you added anything for the record?
As of right now, really just we have like an intro kind of song that we did like big toms for. Apart from that, it's
I'm
just
still waiting on my bass head that you promised me.
I still gotta get a new one.
He says that
when I
every
get a
time.
new one, you'll get it.
It's gonna go
Um,
right
But
there.
apart from that, it's just
Yeah, I mean,
just drum set.
Yeah, we pretty much played. I think you pretty much played it like what we were playing live. Did we use a? Did you use a different drum set on the record? I can't remember.
No, well, I used a different kick drum.
Okay, yes, and then
I just used the toms, and I used the SJC snare.
is that your own snare?
Mhm.
Okay, I can't remember what snare drums we were using.
Yeah, we tried to use that bell brass one
Oh yeah,
that Dana had, but it
pretty
was
bright.
too poppy.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty
What do you
bright.
think?
Saw.
What's your take on piccolo snares?
They
Drummer
have,
uses one.
they have their uses. I used to run a popcorn snare, so instead of it being a normal 14-inch diameter and being like 2 inches thick, it was a 10-inch diameter and like a 6-inch thick snare.
Ah.
So, like whenever I was 20, I used to play one.
Yeah.
But they have their places.
Yeah, our drummer uses one, and he's like, I think I need to get, he's got several instruments, but he said, I think I need to use the other snare, the regular snare, and I was like, why? I was like, that one sounds great, but I can kind of see, because it fits with what we're doing, but it doesn't, it's good for what we're doing, but that would be better to have that lower sounding snare, and I was like, well, you can always keep the piccolo right there for certain instances, So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that's always an option. You see it a lot in piccolo snares are used as auxiliary snares a lot in pop music. A lot of pop drummers, like if you see the drummer for The Weeknd, he plays 3 snares where he'll have a super deadened regular like 14 by 6-inch snare, and then he'll have a super tuned up piccolo snare, just for different occasions.
Yeah.
I've always liked how Radiohead's drummer does it a lot too.
Mhm.
He does this thing where he has like 2 or 3 different snares, and then he has like the electronic pads like mixed in with the rest of the drum kit, which is kind of cool. It's like real tom, fake tom.
It's a lot of drummers that have that sort of thing where they want to play all of that live will have all of that.
Yeah.
But
Are you guys gonna are you gonna go with a different scented candle for this album?
it smells like
That's a great question.
It smells.
It is a
like
great
my
question.
ass.
I mean,
That's the
I
next
need
one.
something other than I think it's I think we nailed it down to Paul's body odor the last time for the scent of the last one. And I was like,
just
it smells good, but it
different
doesn't.
varieties of Paul's
At
body odor.
certain times.
It's
But-
a certain scent. It's sex musk is what it is.
Yes, that's what I was.
Whenever
gathering.
you light the candle in somebody's
There it is.
somebody's house,
Yes,
like Paul just had sex.
That's
that
right.
guy's cool.
that's
It works
what that
60%
smell
of the
is.
time, every time.
I have them. I have 2 or 3 of them, and they're scattered around here somewhere. But I also still have the thing you gave me for my birthday when you guys came down and played at Music on Main. The lyrics for, is that a song that's going to be on this record, or was that on That is a new one, right?
That is a new one. Yeah, that'll be on this record.
And that was the real long song, right?
That is the incredibly long song. Yep.
How long is it on the record? How long? What did you? Was your,
Walks in 9.5 minutes.
Yeah,
that's not that long.
Yeah,
That's pretty long. Most people tune out after 3.
that's pretty.
I was
long.
yawning at Music on Main when you played it. I was like, "What? Are they done yet?"
Yeah, so you get the idea.
No, I was kidding. No,
Yeah,
what a
we've
good-
only.
It was
we've
also
only played
almost
it.
like 2 a.m. by the time we played that song. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I still
mean,
have that. I still have that sheet of paper. But when I did the renovation in here, all the stuff that was just paper and just like hanging on the wall just by itself, I gave to my mother because she's very good at laminating and putting things in frames, and that's what I've been doing. You know, putting up things neatly in here, so it's not just
Awesome.
just hanging on the wall. I mean, there is. Pale Jackson's still hanging on the wall. He's a marionette, so he's allowed to do that. He's right there. But, yeah,
He's literally
Have him
hanging on the
by
wall.
a noose.
he's
Yeah,
a marionette.
that's not creepy at all.
He's a very tangled marionette. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I put that up there right, but I'll fix it over here. But yeah, it's so I'm just trying to neaten it up a little bit, if that's a word. Neaten.
Yeah.
I'll use it.
We'll
You heard
take
it here first. Neaten. Well, okay, so let's switch gears for a second since we talked music for a little bit. I know you guys talk music all day long, and you know when you're together and when you're at Eaton Park and Sheets and eating salads together. I just remember that from when you guys played at Preserving that time. You came back and you were eating salad. I'm like, who eats salad?
I love salad.
I,
What the
I love
fuck,
salad
bro?
too, but
Salad's
not like
so
I don't
important.
like pick it for a
Shit.
meal. You know, that's like a part of the meal. Anyway,
So you have the best metabolism, and I think I have the worst
I do.
metabolism.
I have really good metabolism. I was
I fucking my metabolism.
it wasn't Maybelline. I was born with it, but it wasn't Maybelline. No, I've been doing this segment. I was telling you before we went live. I quit doing the hot dog thing. You guys escaped that. You escaped it. You didn't have to do it, and it wasn't a bad segment. I mean, there was a lot of good hot dog stories, if you will. I guess I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of good things, but it what's the phrase? It ran its course, I guess. You know, it just got old after a while. I needed something fresh. You know, I got a website now. I got a new logo. I needed something fresh for the new year. So
clear the hot dogs out of your bowels, you know.
I got the wieners away. I just got the wieners
Cleanse
out of
the
here.
wieners.
Exactly. So I spend a lot of time on Google Earth. A lot of the viewers know this, and I say it on pretty much every episode. But I do. I think it's fascinating. You know, even Pittsburgh. I'll fly around Pittsburgh on Google Earth and just look at things. And I was like, you know, I could probably put this into the show somehow. So let's do landmarks, like weird landmarks that aren't really like advertised for tourists. You know, like the incline. You know, people go see they come to Pittsburgh for the incline because it's on everything. You know, or you know, there's Heinz Field, there's PNC Park, things like that are well known. So not things like that is what I'm looking for. Like something that's just not well known that really only people that live there know about. You know, that should be more well known, like the shit fountain in Chicago, or the rat hole in Chicago, or the butt plug Santa in Amsterdam, or what was it? What was the Turtle Boy in it's not Worcester, it's Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester. Yep.
Worcester.
We played there. Yeah.
Did you?
That's
We
a
have,
weird
yeah.
town.
That
Did you play
was-
at Ralph's?
The
Yeah.
Ralph's
Yeah.
Rock Bar, yes, we did.
God.
Nice.
That was
Ralph's.
one of the craziest shows.
That was a fun show. There was a
Nothing will
comedy
beat
sketch.
boobies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
those
there's
are the
comedy
those are the kind of
before
things
that.
I find, like Ralph's. I found Ralph's, and I was talking to them about Ralph's, and they play there a lot. Roseland was the band, and I didn't know
There's a
anything
storied
about
history too. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the Turtle Boy, and they told me about that. That's what started the whole statues thing. So I should know this, you know, being in Pittsburgh as much as I've been. Is there any questionable statues that are like questionable,
I can't think of any
I don't get
questionable
that much.
statues.
or any kind of landmarks that I don't know about that I should've-
Landmarks
found.
I think that are cool. There's a contested steepest hill in Pittsburgh. It's called Canton Avenue.
Okay.
The grade of it, like the actual steepness of it, has been contested across one other country in the world, but in North America, it's the steepest paved
steepest hill,
road.
yeah.
And there is an annual competition that happens before Halloween every year, where it's called the Dirty Dozen, and cyclists try to go up this hill amongst other
Did they get
in
a
a
running start
one-day
from another?
competition.
They get a running start from another, like down another hill and try to
I
go up?
think so. They probably like toboggan down, get their bikes, and have
Yeah.
to go back up.
Hope you don't
Yeah, I
die on
think
the
Where
toboggan down
where is that
first,
in
though.
Pittsburgh? Is it
it's in like
near?
Beachview. It's south of the city. So if you're looking at downtown, it's just south of it.
Okay. All right. The steepest street? The steepest. In North America, right?
Steepest paved road, yeah.
No, oh,
No.
see, it's steep. Okay, so people can drive up it though, right? Do people
That's
live
right.
on that street, like
I
sideways? I guess.
think there are houses all around it. It's a residential neighborhood,
That would
so there are
suck in the
houses all around.
wintertime. I mean,
You
any
know
hill
what?
sucks in the wintertime, but the steepest one, I mean, you
It's
know.
actually it's a paver road, so there are actual like bricks in the road. So it's even
Oh,
probably
okay.
worse if it snows or if it's you
Yeah.
know slippery.
Hmm. Yeah. That's. Yeah. The only statue that I think I can think of is the Mr. Rogers one, and I haven't even seen that one yet. The one at the point.
It is a bit creepy. It is a bit creepy.
Why?
'cause
It's
But
not that
Mr.
bad.
Rogers is not creepy though. Is he?
no. The statue, I guess my depiction of it's just it looks very scary because it's not the way that it was designed is like all the lines on the face are just very
The wrinkles
aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Let me see if I
look.
can pull a picture of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
do that
God.
because that's it. I'm gonna have to go down there now and definitely see it.
Night
Isn't
of
it
the
near
Living
this?
Dead, Mr. Rogers is what
It's
that
it's
is.
really big. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot bigger than you would think it would be. It's
I'm
kind
just thinking of like
It's
the
massive.
Wrigley guy was the guy that did the Wrigley gum out in Phoenix when I had the Phoenix band on. They have a statue of him just like sitting in town on a bench. Like
Yeah.
that's a normal statue, but you're talking bigger than that.
I think it's like
Yeah.
20 feet tall. Like
That is a little creepy. Yeah,
I don't think
That's
it's that big.
That's a big ass Mr.
Looks
Rogers.
like
I
a
don't
little
think it's
boy.
that big.
Hey,
I think
that's-
it's about 15.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's larger than
Yeah.
a
It's,
regular ass.
It's really hard to get.
Whoa, wait. Okay,
Good
that thing's
God.
really wrinkly. It's wrinkly all over.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
it's
not
just
like-
not a great. It's just not a great representation of him.
Get a hold of the statue guy and have him redo it.
it almost looks like it was like clay. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they did it made out like
It looks like
it
it looks weathered.
A hammered
Like,
cat or
there
cast
are-
or something like
Yeah.
that.
There are other representations
That's
of
better.
him that are much better looking and are
Where did they
like
find this guy to do this?
just
That's
I don't
way
know.
better. Yeah,
That's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Scott, speaking of Night of the Living Dead as well, it's just outside of Pittsburgh, but the original Night of the Living Dead was shot in a graveyard right outside of Pittsburgh. So George Romero is originally from Pittsburgh. So that was shot just outside of Pittsburgh. Dawn of the Dead was shot at Monroeville Mall.
Mhm.
Really?
Yep. So apparently the rumor is that if you get out onto the this is like complete rumor. I don't even know if this is true or not, but if you get out onto the roof, apparently they've left some of the like help like alive here sort of put on,
oh
like,
cool.
painted on the
Yeah.
side. And they do every year they do like a zombie crawl in Monroeville Mall for it.
Yeah. So I only live like 10 minutes away from that mall, so we should go because I went to the zombie. It was like a zombie walk, probably 15 years ago was the last time I went, but it was fun. They just they open the mall up real late at night. Everyone dresses up.
Are you guys big into like haunted houses like for Halloween? You like or did you
I
used to be?
My dad's been in, oh God, probably like 7 or 8 indie horror films now. Like
Really?
Oh, sweet.
I would love to have
He's
your dad on. Yes, that would be
he's
great.
shooting one. It's supposed to be shooting one. I don't know if that's confirmed in Ireland soon.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But he's been in multiple, so he's big into that. I was never really big into it. I don't like jump scares. I don't like sudden loud noises.
What about actual haunted places?
Oh,
Love
I'm
them.
into like the paranormal and shit. Yeah. for
Yeah.
sure.
I got a guy coming on.
Um,
I didn't do this to plug it or anything, but I just was part of the conversation. But I have a guy coming on the 12th. That lives down he's actually from San Antonio, and he was in some bands there, and now he lives in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and he does a paranormal podcast. And it'd be the second person, I guess I've had on that does paranormal investigating, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
The West Virginia State Penitentiary is really cool to do the walk around.
I haven't been there. I haven't been to
Oh,
that.
it's so neat. It's beautiful.
I'm not really into creepy, crawly, weird. Sneak up on me and
I'm-
touch me, and I'm not. I'm
I'm
good.
into that. I also worked at a haunted house many years ago,
like an actual one or like a Halloween one.
like a Halloween. Like,
See, I'm
I
talking
worked
about like the real, like the you turn around and nothing's there, but something definitely tap you on the shoulder. No, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I worked at like an amusement park,
See,
scare house.
That's
kind of
different
deal.
because something is there touching you, tapping you on the shoulder. But you turn around,
Sure.
nothing's there. And it's the middle of the day or something like you're at your house, and no, I'm good.
That's why the state penitentiary is amazingly haunted and amazingly beautiful too.
I'm good. I mean, I'm.
We'll throw you in there in the middle of the night.
Well,
you'll
we
be
do
all
have
right.
the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is about 30 minutes south. Of here.
Yeah.
My dad actually worked there when he was in like high school, in between like summers. He was a meat cutter, which is creepy. They had, they had a farm and everything. They were,
I've heard
but
some wild shit about that place.
I've been in it a few times for tours, and I even did like the daytime ghost tour, which is really nothing other than they just go around and tell you what usually happens and things. And I never really experienced anything, but I do have pictures of other people that have sent me pictures of things that have happened there, and it's creepy for sure.
I'm totally fine with things like that. Like that, I think is very fascinating. But man, I fucking hate haunted houses.
I don't like being jump scared. I've worked on a house too, and that's fun. Doing it's fun.
Well, yeah, because you're there.
It being done to sucks. I hate it.
Well, I was like traumatized as a child from one.
So was I.
Which
my
Scott,
father's a piece of shit sometimes.
Scott, you'll love this story.
But
actually.
I love him.
But I love him.
So
I remember one time I was like 2 or 3 years old. He fucking comes into like my room while my mom's holding me in a mask that has like the top half of its head cut off and scares me.
Nice.
I still remember that shit. Fuck that shit. Yeah.
Was it like a scalped?
Yeah.
Mask?
No, it was like half of a head and the top of it was cut off.
His brain just
Oh,
hanging
man.
out.
No, it just entire half.
Okay.
Like
so
it was cut here.
So like
I can
Resident
see as a
Evil.
child,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, okay.
terrified.
Yeah, I was like 2 years old. I was like, all right, fuck you, dad, in my head as a 2-year-old.
That's hilarious, but it's creepy. Yeah. for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh. So yeah, the thing that popped into my mind, which I mean, this always inevitably comes up anytime Scott and I end up talking.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
So when I was like 11 or 12, I went to a haunted house with a group of people. My dad was a minister, and he'd take like his youth group and everything. And I was pretty young, and it just so happens that the haunted house was actually being run by Trent Reznor's dad.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So Trent Reznor's dad was like, when you go into a haunted house, like the very first thing they do is like they give you like the rules and everything, right? Like, you can't touch anybody, nobody can touch you. Like, if you get too afraid, like you let somebody know and they'll let you out, that sort of thing. So this particular one was right after the remake of Night of the Living Dead came out, and they actually had some of the people from it in their full makeup, like wandering around, which I mean, to a kid is already creepy as shit.
Yeah, really.
So I'm already like scared out of my fucking mind. And the first thing they do is they put you into this room where they kill all the lights and you can't see anything, and it looks like just skulls floating around. And the people that are like introducing themselves and saying like the rules and everything, their faces are painted, so it just looks like they're floating there. And the problem was Trent's dad was my dad's best friend, so he knew he could fuck with me immediately. And so what he did was he went through and he did his spiel, and then he came down and like floated right next to me and used my name and asked, do you understand what I've said to you, Josiah, which is my full name? And I was like borderline tears already because I didn't realize it was him.
Yeah.
And the thing they didn't tell me was they had told everybody in the place my name. So I had to go through this haunted house as a kid where people were calling out my name.
Oh, man.
And then they intentionally separated me from my group. So I'm like wandering through this haunted house where everybody's saying my name to a point where I remember getting to a point that was really like kind of like a Eraserhead kind of head fuck sort of thing,
Yeah.
where it was just like they had like a fake rat laying on its side, breathing, looking at a TV.
What?
Just white
Saying your
noise.
name.
And it was like insane.
Oh, man.
And I ended up with this group of college girls.
Well, that's good.
And then
That's always good.
I came out of the entire haunted house with this group of college girls, and I realized that everybody else in my group had actually left. They left the haunted house early. They were like, hell with this, we can't deal with this. And these assholes decided that they were gonna, throw me to the wolves, and I was the only one that made it through. And of course, the moment I get out, I realize that it's Trentstad, and I remember being like pretty young. And when you're pretty young, for the most part, at least it used to be, you don't really throw profanity that much. And I remember looking at him like, fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, there you go.
And they let me
Mike.
get away with it. And so like, yeah, I hate haunted houses for that particular reason. But I mean, in hindsight, it's a really good story.
I remember when you guys were on the show, what, episode 31 or whatever it was, and you were telling me this story about Trent Reznor and the bow and all that stuff, and I was like, that's not even his real last name, and it is his real last name, right? Oh, there's the bow, right? There.
Yeah, it actually just made it.
Yes.
After all these years, yeah, finally.
Yes, yeah, that's right. I asked about that bow.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's. But I did not know that Trent Reznor was. I didn't know Reznor was actually his real last name. I thought that was just like a Rob Zombie kind of thing. Like
a stage name.
Zombie. I don't think there's a Mr. and Mrs. Zombie. Is there? There might be. There somewhere.
There probably is.
But like, yeah, I didn't know that. It just seems like a fake name. Reznor just seems like a fake name to me. Didn't you say that they're like heating and cooling or something like that?
So that's a common misconception. There is a Reznor heating and cooling, but there isn't.
That's not them.
To my knowledge, yeah, there's not a connection there.
I knew there was something.
A town named after them too. Isn't there like a Reznor, PA?
There probably is.
I mean, I don't think it has any relationship to their family, but I think
it's just outside of Centralia, like something like that. It's gonna be something ridiculous.
yeah. I think there's. I think I saw the name like on a water tower once.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
When I had Gloomer on way back around, then I asked him.
Those guys.
Yeah,
I do too. When they were on, I asked him this question, and I don't ask it very often to bands from Pittsburgh, but I'm going to ask you guys because I know you pretty well. But I don't think I've even caught you saying it. But do you guys say yins ever? Yins?
Oh.
I don't think I've caught you saying it.
I'll slip it. I'll slip it in every once in a while.
Is it ironically or unironically?
It's both. It's like it's like sometimes I'm totally being a jerk with like yins, but sometimes if I've had like 3 or 4 whiskeys, like my Pittsburgh accent will.
It's a territorial thing, right? It's like we're from the city you're from or something. Somebody told me at one time. Is it like or where like what neighborhood you're from? I guess.
Oh,
I think so.
I think it's just like a northern y'all.
It's more prevalent, yeah. I think like
northern y'all.
The more that you're around people that say it, I feel like you're predisposed to saying it yourself.
My parents never said it, and they were born and raised here. I was the first half of my life so far was raised in the South Hills, and I don't think anybody there had at least a strong enough accent for me to notice.
Now there is a Yinzer festival. I'm not sure what they do. I thought it was a music festival, but I looked it up since I thought it was a music festival. This was a while ago, and it's I don't think it's a music festival, but it's a festival somewhere around Pittsburgh. It's called Yinzer Festival or Yinzer Fest or something like that.
Yeah, it's called the aftermath of a Kenny Chesney concert.
Yeah,
I was going to say
the entire concert.
If you want to hear some proper Pittsburgh accent, come to the Pickle Festival.
Pickle Festival, huh?
Picklesburg.
Yeah, Picklesburg.
Picklesburg. That's a pretty epic one.
Pickle, like actual pickles, or like
Yep.
or like pickleball
down the entire bridge on
no,
Street.
it's just a festival.
I don't like pickles
around pickles, and they have street vendors and music and all sorts of stuff.
I don't think I would go. I don't like pickles at all. Like I don't even like the smell.
Don't go there for the pickles. Go there for the Pittsburgh.
Paul's done. He's
go
out.
for the accents. Go for the accents.
Paul, can you grab me a beer?
I can.
Grab me a beer, Paul.
Paul, grab some beers.
Grab some beers, Paul.
Yeah.
Make the drummer do it.
Paul just quit the band because you don't like pickles.
He says I'm out. You don't like the Pittsburgh accent. You don't like pickles.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a. I had. Let's see, who was that? Guides. When I had Guides on it, you ever heard of Guides?
Yeah,
we might know Guides a little bit. Yeah.
I mixed their album.
Oh, nice. Yeah, those guys are really cool. I had them on.
our old
really
drummers.
Yeah, and Tim used to be the drummer in Amplifiers,
Yeah.
and Paul used to be the drummer in Guides.
Oh,
I forgot about. Yeah, we swapped drummers at one
Okay.
point.
Yeah,
And I think there is Mocha's in that band, right? So their
Mocha's also in that
bassist.
band. Yep.
Yeah. So Mocha, the bass player in Guides, was also in a cover band that Paul was in called Tobacco Road. And
Okay.
I think he might have been in another project of Paul's at one point in time. But so there's a long history with those bands.
Oh yeah.
I
as well.
saw.
Never
I
played
had them
a
on,
gig
and then they played the. What
Yeah,
was
not
it?
yet anyway. But
Yeah.
I would love to. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think-
they're super great dudes.
yeah. I guess
They are. Yeah, they're really nice guys.
Yeah, I mean they were I think they're working on something new too. Jonathan and I were talking like a month ago, and I think they're gonna make a new record or something.
That's really
I just saw
cool.
them. I just saw them at Club Cafe. They did the Abominable Snow Jam.
Oh, nice.
It was like comedy and Guides played at the end of the night, so I went up and saw it. And I can't remember the guy's name right now. The guy that does the Fred Durst impression.
Darren.
Yes, Darren. Yes,
Yeah.
super funny. At first he came out as Danzig. He did that for a little bit, and there was a couple bands playing and stuff, and he would before Guides played at the end of the night. But he did his Fred Durst impression, and then coming down the steps before Fred Durst went up there, Wes Borland comes down the steps. I'm like, what is this? So it's like the whole business. But it was great. It looked awesome. And they played the part really well. But
Talking
Darren's
Guides.
hilarious. Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking
wait a
Guides.
minute.
Yeah.
Paul,
I
We're
was
talking about having guides on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had Guides on recently.
I used to be in that band.
Yeah. We heard.
Paul, in other than with Mocha, other than Tobacco Road, was he in another band with you? That's what we're trying to figure out.
We've done multiple stuff. The only other band, at least that I can remember right now, that him and I were in was a band in high school, which
What was that called?
Manifest Destiny.
Ooh.
I think everyone was in a band with that name.
I,
I might have been in 3 bands with the same name.
And
I
everyone did a Fall Out Boy cover.
we did
So
a
it was Blink-182.
we did a Killers cover.
Okay, close enough.
Even better.
I played one show because I was playing as a fill-in, and we played Smalls, and then never played again.
I mean, if
They're
you're gonna
actually
play a
playing
show, that's a good
Smalls,
show to
I think
play.
it's-
Yeah,
I think it's the 22nd. They're playing Smalls again with what's the band that they follow all the time?
Taproot.
Taproot. Yeah. It's the guy. It's
Jonathan
not,
loves.
they're not playing with
Taproot.
Taproot, but it's one of the guys from Taproot's other like side project or something. They're playing
I
with.
think they just did a tour with Taproot. or
Jonathan
something.
loves Taproot.
Yeah, I mean,
They've
there
been
was
around a long time, yeah.
Huh?
Taproot's
Yeah.
been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they did a couple dates with them or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
like towards the end.
There
of
was something there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was talking about that, and then he like sent me a picture, and it was like him and Taproot in like New York or something. And
I
I was
wouldn't
like,
doubt it.
I was like, okay, so they must have been doing some dates together.
Man,
Yeah.
the 6 degrees of separation that we have with random bands is kind of ridiculous.
I love those guys. Like,
I think I found you guys through Jake the Hawk somehow, didn't I?
Yeah, well,
Sure.
Josh,
Yeah, that's right.
Emery, and we started Amplifiers together, so
Yeah, I think that's how I found you. I don't think Jake the Hawk's together anymore.
they are
Have you-
not. No, they some of the guys are now in a band called Star Viper.
That's right. Yeah,
Which they're
yeah.
great. They're super ridiculous.
Yes, they are absurd
looked them up
in the
along
very
And
the
they were
best.
so fun to see live too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We did a show with them.
I was trying to find the.
I sadly didn't stay for that one, but
dude, they were great.
They were a
there-
lot of fun. Yeah,
There's like
I
two-
follow their Instagram and they post stuff. So
there's 2 bands in Pittsburgh that are like on the ridiculous level that I like really enjoy. They're one of them. There's this other band called Black Ridge, completely ridiculous.
yeah.
And highly recommend both. Like they're both just like they're over the top, like just like flaming guitar solos.
Yeah, we
Just
played
like-
we played with them at Smalls.
Yeah,
Black Ridge, yeah.
completely ridiculous.
We did?
You know,
We
yeah,
did,
they had
yeah.
like a saxophone player or some shit. Like it was just completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
like the singer wore like he looked like a game
was this
show
before
host.
me?
No, you were in a bit. It was just like last year.
That was with Chip and the Charge Ups.
Yeah,
They were on that show.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. The
shit.
singer who looked like a cheesy game show host from the '70s in that weird suit.
That's great.
That's
And
right.
they
It
were
was really
great.
skinny,
And it
long
works
hair.
really well for
Yeah,
them.
That's
exactly.
right.
They're
Yeah.
totally ridiculous.
Do we want to announce something?
I think you should.
that's a surprise specifically for episode 250.
I think it's befitting if you guys are all right with it.
Oh, it's definitely it's befitting for sure. Yes.
The
I
extras.
mean,
Oh,
I mean, I was the one that suggested.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
fine with it.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
Dean.
can announce it. I forgot it.
What do you think, Dean? Should
I have
we-
no idea what we're talking about.
our extracurriculars we're working on.
The things that
What's it rated?
we're doing that isn't gonna be on the album.
Oh,
It'll be on the
yeah.
Japanese release.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will be on
Oh.
the Japanese release.
Oh.
I need any reason to play in
It's-
Japan.
You're gonna get
I need any
Paul
ancillary
really
stuff.
excited.
I need
yeah.
any reason to tour in Japan.
No,
Big in Japan.
Paul's releasing didn't you aren't you gonna get like a DistroKid something or other just to post something else? Are you telling him about that?
So yeah, that's another thing, but that's a secret. That's a secret for me.
That's a real secret.
That's a thing for me.
You're saying Paul has to come on as a guest as in another group.
The
with
deep
pipe
cuts.
solo. The deep cuts. Arrgh.
No.
No.
We are going to release at some point before the full-length album 2 singles or a single with 2 songs that we yeah that we recorded, one being a cover and one being a
Cover.
revamp of a song that was on the original album.
And are we allowed to know what song? Songs.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You wanna tell him?
Yeah.
The Redux version is Ghosts off of
Nice.
Everything Obsolete.
Yes.
So we re-recorded that with the new lineup.
I was kind of figuring that you were going to do that since that you've been playing it live a lot.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's a fun song, and it was cool because like we went to my friend has a studio. It's like really big, and so we went there to do the drums, and then we came to my studio to do everything else. And like we were there, we're like, we got more time. Like let's
Yeah,
record this.
Paul
Yeah,
smashed it.
yeah,
he
Paul
he
was
knocked
horribly
out all
efficient.
the recording in
Yeah.
such quick time. We had
Yeah.
leftover time to record 2 additional songs.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
just decided to do a couple more.
Yeah.
So,
Big
Yeah.
shout out to Dana in the church.
Yeah,
Dana was awesome.
That place looks awesome.
Incredible place.
That's
yeah.
that's an old church, I guess, right?
yeah,
It is, yeah.
I've heard of it, but I've never like seen it, you know. And Dean would throw me like little clips here and there. You couldn't really see anything or hear anything, but it was badass. You know, I'm like, that's got to be a church of some
That's kind
kind.
of our
It's
thing.
yeah,
it's amazing.
yeah.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah, I mean it's great. Like it's Dana is like probably one of the there's like this group of like old rockers that are still around, and like Dana's in that group. I think he just turned 60 or something like that, and he's just been in the game probably since he was like 15 years old. And
Yeah.
he was one of these guys that like he used to be like Carlos Santana's sound guy. He toured with Rusted Root. I mean, he's worked with Willie Nelson and like Jim Van
Morrison.
Van
yeah.
Morrison.
Wow.
He did a lot of stuff, like a
He
lot
did
of
Code
movie stuff.
Orange.
Yeah, he did a Code Orange record.
So Mars Volta
The Mars
recently as
Volta.
well.
Yeah, he just did
Yeah.
the Mars Volta. Yeah, I mean, just like
That was-
crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was who was in there right before us, right? The Mars
yeah,
Volta.
he had the
So,
Mars Volta.
Really
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy. Are they
Yeah.
from up that way, or they just chose?
They're,
No.
they're from Texas. They were doing some shows and then just came through and wanted to record some stuff while they were on tour.
Yeah.
So they
Badass.
parked up there. And I mean, I'm just like skimming the surface of like
Yeah.
stuff he's worked on. And so the whole and you know, the story goes the whole time he was touring with all these people, he was just like all over the country and would just like buy cool stuff and just kept buying it, and now he has like this really great studio, and it was really kind of just like a financial thing. Like with me also having a studio, it's like, okay, for like all the smaller stuff I can do it here.
Yeah. Sure.
But for him to like record drums in a gigantic room for us.
Does he do the mastering and everything also?
No, he doesn't do mastering, but he does mixing, and he has he has an analog and a digital setup. So there's like tape machines, and there's digital, and there's a big old Neve console. So we did the drums through the old Neve, and it just sounds good. It's
Yeah.
like a good way to do rock drums.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
What's the cover? Wwhat's the cover?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
interested. I'm
Yeah,
intrigued.
it's all right.
Do you
I'll
actually
put
want
a
to
quarter
say
No,
it?
it's fine.
Intrigued in the yeah.
It's something that a lot of people would not expect us to do, which
Yeah.
is gonna be
Michael Jackson.
That's close.
But yeah, I mean
That's
that would
pretty
actually be
close.
pretty rad. But
Yeah.
no, it is not.
Have you ever heard of an artist named Joji?
Joji?
Yeah, Joji.
I have not.
He used to be a YouTuber, and then he started making music, and he got really big whenever he released an album called Ballads One, and like, I think it was right before or at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he has a song that's called "Slow Dancing in the Dark" that I had like years ago. And I say years ago, it was like 3 years ago. Had turned into like a rock song, and I'd played it for Cy one night. He's like, "I want it." And I was like, "Okay,
It
that's
sounds
fine."
really good.
Well, I mean, when you
I was like,
showed it
okay.
to me, it was like, holy shit, this is great. And then you would ask me, you're like, will you do the vocals on it?
Mhm.
And I was like, man, we should really play this live at some point. And you were like, I am so down for that.
Yep.
And then we sort of just adopted it, and we got to a point where we finished all the drums that we wanted to in,
This song here?
in the studio.
Can you hear this?
That's
Yep.
it.
That's the song.
That is it.
So there's like an Amplifiers version of that now.
Yeah.
It's a ballad, and it's going to hit really hard.
I've never heard this.
I would maybe not play a lot of it because it is
No.
copyright.
Like, we're about to get demonetized.
That's right.
No. It's protected on YouTube. I'm okay.
YouTube can't. Yeah, YouTube can't.
Yeah,
sue you, but they
I'm
can.
not getting paid for this anyway, so it's fine. But
Yeah,
no,
you
it's
still got about 600
I don't-
subscribers left to get monetized.
I'm kind of intrigued to hear this version of Amplifiers doing this, because I don't hear anything in there that's like rock-ish.
Exactly.
Well,
You know what I mean?
if you go digging enough, because I had recorded it years ago, there is a snippet of that recording on YouTube buried somewhere.
Oh, great!
I just
I don't have
put
that
it
kind of
on
time.
there.
You just gotta have to show me. I don't have time to go
Nope.
search for treasure. You know?
Dig
Searching
dig
on
through.
YouTube.
Nope, you do have to go searching for that one. I will not tell you.
What am I looking for exactly?
It's just Slow Dancing in the Dark cover.
It can't be that old. So like, I just got to search for it.
No, it's
Don't give him any more. Just stop right there.
I will tell you that it
Come on,
is
Cy, you're supposed to be on my side.
it is under a band name that I had just made up and
Great.
wrote a bunch of songs.
That could be anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it is really intriguing. It's a really interesting take on the song. The song itself is really, really good. I mean, Paul showed me Joji. I fell in love with Joji, and now we just talk about epic sad boy music all the time. That's literally
that was my next question, actually.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
It's
literally what's
it's
referred to
sad
as
shit.
Downtime in the studio. You know.
So yeah, that's that. And then
Great though.
the Redux version of Ghost sounds really, really good. It's reimagined. It's how we play it live now.
We have some time. We can hear a little bit of Ghost if you want. That way, people could kind of understand what you're saying. You know,
Sure.
a bit of the
Yeah.
just a snippet. We could talk over it, but sometimes it doesn't sound as good if we talk over. So we'll just
Let it go for a little bit. Go for it.
yeah, just let it mingle. Let it mingle throughout or something. Ready? Here we go.
There's a light flowing in the end, when it goes away, or I stay in this motion, repeating.
I think we should leave him at that.
There you go.
Leave him at that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that song
that's
still sounds great.
that's. I want to ask you about the, but I'm going to wait. I want to wait and hear it. You know, I want to wait and see what you've done with it before I ask you.
Well, of course. Well, I'll give you a couple pieces of information about the original one, which probably aren't out there. Which is, we recorded that in LA with a really talented musician and producer by the name of Casey Crescenzo, who's in a fantastic band called the Deer Hunter.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're incredible. He was also in a band called the Receiving End of Sirens, which was also
I've heard of them.
absolutely fantastic. But when we recorded everything in LA with him, he was kind enough to kind of lend his talents as well. So all of the backing harmonies that you hear in there is actually him. And it's like one of the little hidden gems in that record.
Nice. When is this record come out? Because I can't wait any longer for this. This is just
can't either,
all this
honestly.
talk of it is just crazy.
We don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a date.
Is it finished? Is it
No,
finished? Like the recording
no.
process?
But like we're working like legitimately as much as we probably can on it.
Yeah, tirelessly.
Yeah, it was just like we're actually like, and like we haven't the only thing that we've stopped is we recorded the drums I think like a week or so before Christmas,
Yeah.
and then basically took off until maybe
The New
Year's.
Year, yeah.
Yeah. So we might have took like a week and a half off and been working on it straight
Yep.
since then. So like we probably I think we have maybe 2 more songs of guitars to record, and then we got to do all the vocals and
Anything textural.
yeah, maybe
all
some
of,
weird like
Yeah,
synthesizer stuff,
yeah.
like all the little auxiliary things. But and a lot of that stuff we have kind of mapped out. We just got to like bring it in and do it, and then whatever, like if any more inspirational stuff comes up. But we're like, as far as recording goes, we're probably like 75%.
What's your plan for release? Like what are you gonna how you gonna? I mean, I assume you'll do a release show, but are you gonna go on the road a little bit? I know it's been a while since you guys have actually done some road stuff.
To be determined, I would say at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to like have some conversations with some people and see if we can find a home for the record.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've all made friends over the years that have expressed interest in seeing what the next record sounds like, much like yourself, and we would very much like to be able to take it out on the road, have a pressed vinyl of it, you know, put it in front of people that have never seen us before, and go from there. See where that
We're
goes.
we're also on a really good, like we're making really good progress. So we're very lucky that we're using John's studio to record. So we are able to be in an environment that's very relaxed versus, you know,
Yes.
going to a studio that's outside of our control, having to spend countless hours, you know,
On a
fixing
timeline
edits.
also,
Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
in that unique position.
Yeah,
It's cool because it's like we sort of like, as long as we keep working, it's good. And it's like we how can I say this? It's like we can just like create stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like we're not like, you know, I sort of go into every recording session, like each day it's kind of like right now we're like been working on guitars. It's like if we can get like half of the guitars done for a song every day, which sounds like it should go a lot faster than that, but that's
It's not-
kind of,
yeah.
that's kind of been our pace. It's like, okay, we can get like half of the guitars done for one song in a day, and so like every 2 days we get a song of guitars done, and but it's cool because it's like we also can just use my studio to just like experiment and create stuff, which is like great. It's interesting because I was thinking about this project because I play in the band, but I also like make records and I'm recording a lot of this. This is a big undertaking. Like we've like it's a very like compared to some other projects I've worked on that are more like live bandish. This is like an art project. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like the it's like Hollywood in a sense
Well,
almost.
it's been so long since you've released something,
Yeah.
and you want this one to be big.
Yeah, well, it's like we're doing it's like more like a production.
Bigger.
It's kind of like going to like some bands like make a record like you're going to see a play like in a theater.
And age maturity kind of adds to that also. You know, you're listening more. You're trying to do more with this than you maybe did before. You know.
Yeah, this is like the Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the major motion picture.
This is
Shit,
one of
I
those
can't
things
wait. Do I get a pre-released copy like before anybody? Do I get like as a member of the media? You know, I guess that's what I am.
We
Do
can.
people still do
I'm pretty sure. Scott, you will get early listening access
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
in
Without
some
question.
capacity
Yeah.
to
I love it.
something.
Yeah.
You know we love you, man. We're gonna take care of you. Don't worry.
Oh, that's so nice of you. You're so sweet.
No, honestly, like we're very, very lucky in the sense that like we've had the access to really experiment with a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of like little nuances that I think all of us have kind of learned in the process of like, oh, holy shit, I didn't realize that's how you play that live. Because a lot of the songs that will be on this record, we are playing live currently. So
Yeah.
there are things that we've learned that work really, really well together. We're like, oh, that actually does really work well together. Or there's things that we're like, hey, we need to tighten this up a little bit because we need to make sure that like, what rhythm I'm playing is the rhythm that John is playing, is the rhythm that Dean is playing, that goes along with Paul. And in a live environment, it's for us is pretty chaotic. I mean, you've seen our live show, so there's a lot.
I can't. Well, I haven't seen because I'm always blinded, but I love it. I love every minute of it.
You don't see much.
Yeah, but I mean, just
I found ways to
making
see.
sure everything is connected has been like a really gratifying experience, especially from like my perspective, getting the opportunity to work on this with John and Paul and Dean. Like we've really gotten the opportunity to kind of sink our teeth into these songs and to really make them our own. And I think you're going to be very happy with the outcome.
I have some new things. I have new stickers made. I'm going to get different ones made. This was just kind of like a see how they look kind of pile of stickers. But I'll throw some in there, and next time I see you, I'll have some stuff for you guys.
Please,
some new
yeah.
logo stuff. The new logo is out. Then the website's up, and the kind of thing that, like, people are always asking me, what do you get with bonus content? Because I did like a Patreon style thing. It's not Patreon. It's like my own platform on the website. KeepMeAlive.com is what it is. But there's 3 tiers, and whatever you pick, of course, the most gets the most. Gets everything on the lower tiers get. But the bonus content is going to be what I talk to the bands about when we're not live. And, just maybe some things that, like from when I go on the road and talk to bands, I'll record some of that. I got all kinds of stuff like that, like that and bloopers, like the losing the connection. That was kind of a blooper, but that was live. So but I can still go get it, I can still get it. And, so that
We weren't bad mouthing you, I promise.
Well, even if you were, that's a blooper, I guess.
I'm so sorry if you have like extra footage of just all of us making a bunch of like dick and fart jokes, then
Perfect.
whoever's at that top tier, I'm so sorry.
Well, even the bottom tier gets bonus content.
That's all I ask.
So it's everybody in any tier gets
Okay,
bonus
top
content.
tier
So
gets Scott feet pics. Then we got it. Okay, we understand.
top tier gets a T-shirt that I know Dean has one.
I do have one.
And that's you should hold on to that because that's vintage now. That logo is now that logo's up on the wall, and then the previous logo is on the floor. And I don't know where because I keep everything that I've made, throughout the show.
I don't have my Nalgene bottle here. It's downstairs
Who-
in the kitchen
your who?
sink, but it's my water bottle, but it has your sticker on it.
Emotional support water bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, my emotional
I gotta
support
get another
water
Yeti
bottle.
made too. I had a Yeti made with
There
my
you go.
logo.
Is that carved into it? Is that like a laser?
Yeah,
etch?
it's like
Laser.
the that
Fancy
that
right there.
roughy kind of outside thing that they put on there, and then they just kind of it costs a pretty penny. My mom would say it costs because that's her name, Penny.
Oh, nice.
Yep. But yeah, so
Dude, it's so dumb.
they don't mind it. My parents, they watch every show. They say they watch every show, but they don't watch all the way through ever. Because I'll ask my dad the next day, but did you see that part? It was really funny. No, I turned it off after the first song.
Dude, video retention fucking sucks.
At least they're honest.
We'll say this though. Hey, Penny, we love you.
That's right.
Now
Well
I'll ask
done,
her.
Penny.
I'll ask her that tomorrow, and she'll be like, "No, I didn't hear that because I turned it off after the first song." Well, guess what? There was no song tonight. We just lost connection, but we're back.
Yeah, we'll just tell her, Penny, when you are laminating the secrets
Yeah.
lyrics,
The Amplifiers package.
make sure to get a loogie in there just before
Yes.
you laminate it.
A loogie laminate.
I could
Yeah.
hear the noise that you made, Dean, and
That's
that's
so
that's
gross.
gonna stick in.
Do
my
it
head
again.
now.
Do it again. I want to hear it in my headphones.
Oh,
I'm good.
Yeah, no, thank you.
not in high
Just-
fidelity.
I want to invite you guys down to if you're available on March the 9th. I know it's kind of short notice, but Dean's known about this for about a month. I think I asked him, but if you guys would like to come down to Music on Main and watch the Deviant Cause, that's the band that I'm singing in, and I'm very nervous about this, but it's going good. We had practice last night and it was solid as shit, and everybody was everything was good. I mean, it was good. I'm happy about it. But come on down and I will take care of your cover for you.
Oh,
That's
that's very kind of you. Thank
$40.
you.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
will take it. But come down if you can. It's Music on Main in Bridgeport. You guys have played there. It's a great place, great sounding place. Hopefully we can get some people in there. And he's been doing very well since you guys were down there. I've been down there a few times, and he gets some customers in there now. So it's just
love
one
the
thing.
spot. We love the owner. Like, yeah, everyone down there has been phenomenal. So we'll have to definitely.
You guys need to come back down. Come back down when you get the new stuff going, and make a stop on your tour, on your album tour. Then go over to Chicago and play a show with Artillery and Storm with your lights. They have lights.
Go to Japan and play Budokan.
That'd be fun.
Yes, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Definitely.
I will be your tour documentaryist guy, or whatever.
Perfect.
Deal.
I
Gazoon height.
will not settle for anything less than Budokan.
Thank you.
That'd be a done.
I wouldn't either.
It'd have to be Budokan for me, just because there's so many.
Legendary.
Yeah, dude.
Legendary.
Dylan
shows.
Live-
You guys do festivals and stuff around there. So I mean, is it Budokan? It's a festival, right?
No, it's
It's
an
like
arena. It's an
arena,
arena.
yeah.
Oh well, arena festival. It's all kind of the same.
No big deal.
We've never played an arena before. So,
No.
So that one should be the first arena we play.
Well, Sire, are you still playing hockey?
Yeah, Paul and I both are. Yeah,
You are. Don't you play in an arena?
not exactly.
I was going to say can't you
It's
talk
like
to
a
the,
small
the
arena.
higher ups
Yeah.
there and see if you can get a gig? Playing?
Itty bitty arena
Just put all that stuff on ice.
on ice.
Ooh, on ice.
Well,
Now
Both have
that
been
would be
injured enough
something.
at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Was it?
Are you saying like perform on ice, like on
Sure.
stage?
Why not? I mean, I've never
Yeah.
seen it. I would
Yeah,
love to
Like
see that.
escapades,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Big bird on ice.
Amplifiers on
With the
ice.
lights and everything. That way you can't see
I mean,
where.
I'm not against it.
I'm legitimately.
I'm not
gonna
against
be sick.
watching it. Yeah.
I'll get
I'd-
another concussion.
Can you imagine playing drums with ice skates?
No.
Yes, I can.
No.
Yeah.
Why are there big gashes in the kick drum?
Just
Don't
turn
worry
it
about it.
mess.
Something.
We'll figure
I
out the
don't know.
logistics of it later. It's fine.
Yeah. I'll help you with that. I'll be the safety chief for that.
Perfect.
Safety chief. That's from I think Seinfeld, isn't it? Or King of Queens. King of Queens. Safety chief. That's me. Anyway. Well, thank you guys for being on the hold on.
He'll get there. He's okay. He's all right.
Scott's
I'm
back.
good.
He's
I'm good.
fine.
All right.
Be real. It's good.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being on the. I can't do a straight face now. Thank you guys for being on the 250th show. It's been an honor to have you back on the show.
No, the
I-
honor
Thank
is
you for
ours.
having us.
I couldn't
Yeah.
think
Thank
of
you so
anybody
much.
else. I mean, I could think of other people to be on, but I wanted you guys to be a part of it because you guys have been. I've been following since you guys were on that very first show, and I went and saw you play. I kind of followed you everywhere, and I was the annoying guy with the gimbal, and taking pictures everywhere, but not with the flash. I didn't have the gigantic flash. Like I can't. I don't know how you guys stand that. Well, I do because you guys have flash on your stage, and you're flashing. Lights.
We're almost like behind it, like you know what I mean? Because it's behind us, so you You sort of just can't see anything.
That's
Yep.
true.
You know what I mean? When you're up there,
True.
because all the lights come from behind us.
I
so it's
figured
like-
out though, when you guys play places where I can get to the side, that's where I usually, then I usually get from back there, behind the lights.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like for us. Like if the press people are on the side or something like it.
The press people, that'd be me. Press people,
Yeah, exactly.
media.
Media folks.
Yeah.
Side
I mean,
stage.
the problem that you have to contend with now is the fact that we have a new hazer that we run, and it just
A what?
absolutely a hazer, basically.
Oh, like a fog machine kind of deal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's very efficient. So basically,
Well, it just makes haze though, right? It doesn't like blind me.
Makes a lot of it.
Oh no, it'll definitely.
Have you thought about like foam? Like a foam party?
Oh,
That'd be hilarious.
that would be a lot
I
of
did
fun.
just now.
Oh, that would be.
Well,
You know what? Like maybe like guar. Like I could get a cannon,
Yeah.
like a foam.
Yes.
cannon.
a
Yes.
fake blood cannon and
A
a
fake
blood
fake
cannon.
spoo
Oh, I
cannon.
could dye the
100%.
blood
Yeah,
red.
yes.
Oh man,
Sure.
we'll get
all of our ears perked up.
Now there are
Yeah.
some fog machines you can get that they make fog or haze or whatever, but they also make bubbles. You
I
can
was
do
about
that.
to get a bubble gun.
Bubbles.
Get a bunch of
Those
bubble guns.
those people.
Did you ever see? Remember when Ozzy Osbourne had his like TV show? Like what was
I don't think he remembers when he had a TV show.
Yeah, it was like called the Osbournes or whatever.
Oh, like the reality TV show.
dude.
Oh, the Osborne.
Reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can find
That
this
was
stuff
such a
on
great
YouTube,
show.
But it's when they decided to put a bubble. And I won't talk about the clip that much, but there's a clip where they decide to put bubbles during Ozzy Osbourne's show.
Bubbles the clown.
And the clip is his reaction to them being bubbles on stage.
He's just
Hilarious.
pissed off.
His reaction to anything is hilarious.
I have to find this clip.
It's pretty
I have
great.
to find
He's
this
biting
shit.
heads off all sorts of shit at that point. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That's,
You guys are gonna play us a song out, right? Live? Is that what we agreed upon?
Uh,
With the lights and everything hooked up, and yeah.
I don't even know what you're pressing.
No, I thought I'd a band that I had on from they're from down in I'm gonna forget this, but I know it's North Carolina. I forget it's
Raleigh.
no, it's
Durham, Asheville.
it's around there.
Yeah.
No, they're
Thereabouts.
North Carolina. Strength Betrayed, and gosh, they were heavy. This song's a little not. It's not. It's the new one. It's called Bleed, and it's a little heavy, but it's not. It's kind of that borderline thing, but it's really good. I want to try to get them back on again because it's just two of them.
Knows he's
Two of them, with programmed drums and stuff, and guitar players excellent. So I want to try to get those guys back. But Strength Betrayed, thought I'd play their new one out. Oh, I didn't even say who the intro band was, but that was After Planet from L.A. And I'll try to get them on here soon. I didn't get the letters ready for the board because I didn't know somebody I talked to this morning. I was kind of waiting for the confirmation. But the 29th of February will be the next show, and it's going to be the Eternal Daydream. And they're from Sweden, and it'd be their second time on the show, so they're returning. And I think that there's something new in the works. Is the reason why they got a hold of me and said, "Hey, we'd like to come back," and because it was just Lucas on the last time, and I think he's going to have the entire band on this time, which would be good.
That's super
So-
cool.
Exciting.
Hopefully Tom in London will co-host that one with me. He usually does the Europe and foreign countries with me since the time change and stuff, or the time difference. I mean, so hopefully he'll be on with me for that show, the 29th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And then after that's the paranormal is going to be back. The paranormal stuff is going to be back on, but it won't be here because I've had the guy that I know. I've had him here. He wants me to go on a ghost hunt. I really don't want to do that, but I will. I guess maybe if you guys go with me. but Isaac Sanchez from Hidden in the Shadows Paranormal. He also does a podcast under the same name. He will be on the 12th of March at 8, I believe, 7 or 8. I can't remember. It's on the thing. And then down the line, May the 10th, the very first foreign band that I had on before Amplifiers was even on. I mean, it was like episode 12 or something. I mean, it was a long time ago. Rats Will Feast from Finland will be back on May 10th. And I can't say anything else about that. And they just got signed today or yesterday, and I can't remember. I just saw it on Instagram, but they just got signed. So that good for them. They're doing things, and they're really good band. It's if you've never listened to any band in Finland, go now and listen to something from Finland because that music scene up there is just crazy. I've had I think five different artists from Finland on, and it's just nuts. nuts. But Rats Will Feast will be on May 10th, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Amplifies, the Amplifiers.
That's like a Pittsburgh accent.
What is that?
Yeah, amplifiers.
Unique New York. Unique. So amplifier. What's wrong with me? Amplify. Why do I keep saying flyers?
Just point to the sign behind you. This band.
Oh,
These dudes are right here. You have an album coming out when? Do we have a date, or is it still too early for this?
spring. We're gonna say like springish.
So not summer then. I don't have to. So May is the cutoff.
Maybe summer.
May's the.
Spring is summer. Yeah.
You
Well,
don't
that
have to
spring,
wait
summer,
long.
24.
August.
It won't
Also.
be long. It is actually happening. It is on its way. It is just a question of us.
How about July 30th? Is that good for you guys? That's the 4 year.
Us.
That's the 4 year show. That's the 4 year
Scott,
show.
you are killing me, man.
Well, you
I'm trying to have you on a milestone episode, damn it.
It all depends on how long it takes to get vinyl made too. 'cause
That's true.
Who knows? It could take a
Oh,
whole
no.
year to get the vinyl.
Don't wait on the vinyl. Don't wait on
Scott
the
is going to spontaneously combust. All right.
Yeah.
He knows
Not
what
tonight.
we're doing.
I will though. It's building up inside. Like
There'll at least be some secret songs or singles or something put out.
Yeah.
Single
It'll be releases,
singles
yes.
will be out before the record, and my little thing will be out the day before the record comes out.
My Little Thing, like My Little Pony. Or-
Oh, there's
Paul's
also-
super
there's also
secret thing.
There's another secret thing we're working on that we.
oh my God, what is with you guys in secrets? You know, just
But-
put it out there.
Yeah, because it said we had a lot of time in the studio, so we. Paul
very
decided
impatient.
to like work on some other parts of the album on his own, and it's really special, really
Mhm.
cool,
Yeah.
and it's going to come out actually the day before the album.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
Dean always sends me updates here and there. I never ask for them. He just sends me things, and it's normally things that I don't even know what it is,
Dean, don't you fucking dare.
and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I would rather not know it. You know, I will as much as I'm asking on this show. You know, and you're not doing it is fine because I do this. I'm the media. I have to ask you things that you don't want to answer. You know,
It's generally
No, it's
feet
it's,
pictures.
my job.
it's really exciting. It honestly, it's probably on the same level as the actual release. And whenever that comes out, it's gonna blow your ears off.
I'm ready for it. And are the lights going to be changing at all? I know you said something about a hazer, but are the lights going to be? I guess you have to reprogram for the new stuff, right?
You'll have to find out, I guess.
Oh, that's you
Yeah.
son of a bitch! All right,
And, like, delete.
I knew the answer before I even asked that question.
Oh, yeah, we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. Don't worry.
Well, come
He's-
down
he's
on the
standing
9th
in front
if
of
you
the
guys are
hazer.
able. It's a Saturday, the 9th. It'll be Deviant Cause, us, Deviant Cause, and Drugstore Skinny from Fairmont. And then two bands from New York, Gal and Maintenance, will also be playing. And we'll be opening up because we only have we have 3 songs, but we're going to only be playing 2. So come on down if you can, and everyone else come down. And then but the next show I'll be on, I guess we confirmed it. It's the 29th, which is what next. When is the 29th? Next, in 10 days. In 10
Yeah.
days, I can say that much. I can do
Next
that much.
Thursday.
Next Thursday. Thank you, Dean. Next Thursday at 4:30 Eastern with Eternal Daydream from Sweden. And I practice this. In Shopping, Sweden is where they're from.
There you go.
I will take a clip of that and use it because I said it wrong every time he was on. Every time the last time he was on. So Lucas was on. So we'll practice that then. But thank you guys once again for being on episode 250. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thank you for
And
having me.
I look forward to the album. And if I ask you questions, just blow me off, and just tell me something different if you have to. But this is Strength Betrayed with Bleed, and I will see everyone again next Thursday, right? 4:30. See you
good.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, Scott.